Forrest Gump once said, "Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get." And I believe that statement to be pretty true. Some people have very short lives, others have very long lives. We all have our good times, our bad times, and we all have our in-between times. But one thing is for certain, we all have a set amount of time. And what we do with that time is up to us. Tonight I would like to talk about a few ideas to get us all thinking about our lives and what we're doing with them, and ways in which we can live our life to the fullest. I'd like everyone here just to take a couple of moments and to imagine their own funeral scene, being at their own funeral. Not as a guest, but being the person that's passed away at their funeral. Some people may have a very large gathering of family and friends attend their funeral. Other people might have a small, intimate affair. What would you like people to say about you once you've passed on? What will they be getting up and talking about at your funeral? How would you like to be remembered? In a positive way, a negative way, an average way? What sort of legacy would you like to leave behind for the next generation, or just your mark in the world? A couple of examples of funerals of famous people that I'd like to talk about, just to highlight that image of people's funeral, is the first one is Princess Diana. So as we all know, Princess Diana tragically died in 1997 in a car crash in the Champs-Élysées in Paris. After she passed away, people put flowers, they were dropping off flowers at Buckingham Palace, cards, balloons, notes, everything. Her funeral service was broadcast right around the globe. At her funeral service, people got up and spoke very positive things about Princess Diana's life and how she was remembered. So in particular, she was known for her charity work and helping those people in developing countries improve their lives. So working with people with HIV, cancer, landmines, and various other organisations that she contributed to. She was also known to be a very hands-on mum in terms of royalty, because most royalty have nannies and a lot of extra help, but she really loved her two boys and was known to be a more sort of regular sort of mum that day-to-day people would be. In contrast to that, if we think about Osama bin Laden, now he was known as the leader of the Islamic terrorist group Al-Qaeda, and he was responsible for the September 11 attacks on the USA. Now he was killed, the Obama administration had ordered his killing, I think, back in 2011. So he was killed in the compound in, I think, Pakistan. He was buried at sea. And where they killed him, in the compound, I believe, they may be turning into an amusement park. So there'll be no actual shrine for people to go back and to remember him and to worship him, so to speak. How do people remember him? I'm sure most people in the Western world have got really nothing positive to say about him. His family may have a few nice things to say, or his followers, but generally speaking, his mark that he left on the world wasn't a very positive one in comparison to, say, Princess Diana, who was known as the people's princess. So that makes you think, how would you like to be remembered? The second point I'd like to talk about is, what are you doing in your life right at this moment or in the present time? Now, I'm aware most people are at different stages of their lives. Some people may be studying at the moment, raising a family, busy with their careers, or even enjoying their retirement. But what if this was your last day on earth? Would you be satisfied with the way that you have lived so far? Have you given it your all? Now, a couple of examples I'd like to talk about in relation to this point would be people, as a real life example, I've known people that I've worked with over the years, and they're spending every day going into work, into the office, and wishing for their retirement date. Some people, it could be literally weeks away, which you can understand, fair enough. But some people, their retirement date could be 10, 20, some cases 30 years away. And it's a bit scary because you think, how are they even managing that? Like, are they enjoying their lives now, or are they waiting for this elusive retirement? And I'm sure we've all heard of people that have retired and then they've passed away within a short period of retiring. Another example is the famous song Cats in the Cradle by Harry Chapin. It talks about the father and son and how the father doesn't spend much time with the son, and it comes back and sort of the roles are reversed when the father is elderly and the son doesn't have time for him. And then on the other extreme end are the daredevils of this world who are living life to the fullest but at the risk of their own safety. So those people that are climbing skyscrapers and taking selfies to have on Instagram, but they could slip, they don't have any harness, they could die within an instant. Another point, the last point I'd like to talk about is, what do you want to do that you are not already doing? And to do this, you have to know yourself, know your likes, your dislikes, to know what makes you happy. And I'd suggest if you don't know what you'd like to do with yourself, spend time getting to know, trying different things, try everything, to see what you do like so you can put your effort into that and make the most of it. So just to wrap it all up, to recap, I talked about your funeral service, what you'd like to be, how you'd like to be remembered, what you'd like to be doing with your life in the future, and how that compares to what you're doing day to day. But in the end, we all are going to die. We don't know when it's going to be, but it is a guarantee, just like taxes, the only other thing that's guaranteed in this world. But go after your dreams and live this day like it is your last, because they are numbered. But that's not something to be fearful of, it is something to be cherished, because that's a really good thing. And in conclusion, I would like everyone to make their lives a masterpiece, because they only have one canvas.